Hi guys, welcome back. It is drum rolls all the way. The Sensex has hit that 39,000 mark. So let's get that dhol ready. The Nifty is, just a smidge away from the all-time highs of 11,760.
50 points.
Yeah, 50 points. And Lata and we were just discussing when I joined the CNBC-TV18, the Sensex was at 12,000. So what a journey it's been from 2008 up until now. Lata, what about you?
When I was working in Dow Jones, it had dipped to 1729 or something like that. So have seen some lows, and then of course it plodded on. We didn't even track the Nifty because it used to be 3 digits.
Yeah.
So this was the Sensex that was at once, I think 1997 or 98, and then it went on with Mr. Vajpayee making a great Republic Day speech. It rose about 25% in the month of Jan and Feb of 98. But yeah, I mean, it's a long way since then, so much of wealth creation, and now 39,000 on the grand old index.
Okay, by the way, Maruti's numbers have come out and they are bang in line with expectations. 1.58 lakhs was the expectation by Nomura. It's come in at that level itself. It's a fall. It's a fall of around 1.6% that we're seeing in Maruti's numbers. The total sales, that is. On a year-on-year basis. Even if you look at what's happened month-on-month, it's a bit of a pickup. 1.48 was what they did in February, and in March it's 1.58. I think that's what the street likes, that compared to last month, there is a bit of a pickup that we're seeing.
3 more working days is another 10,000 vehicles. I mean, that's reading too much. And usually in March, you want to finish with some kind of targets. So that may be reading a bit too much. I think the market's just in such a solid, good mood that it looks like very good news. 39,013 now, and the Sensex is now only 50, in fact, less than 50 points away from that 11,760 mark. It's such a good mood. It's 4 stocks in the green for 1 in the red. So don't forget that. After a fairly big rally in the previous contract, the March contract, in spite of it, you're seeing 4 stocks in the green for 1 in the red. So it's an extremely bullish mood. And in that mood, you have one more instrument in which the wealthy can invest, the REIT. Embassy Office Parks, the country's first real estate investment trust, launched by Blackstone and Embassy Group, just made its debut on the exchanges and with a premium. Raj Balakrishnan, the head investment banking at Bank of America Merrill Lynch, being one of the bankers to the issue, joins us. Good morning, Raj. Thank you very much for joining us. This is one more instrument in the arsenal of investment bankers. Your first thoughts, how successful was the launch? How good was the appetite? And do we see more coming in terms of REITs?
Sure. Thanks for having me. I do think it's an epochal day for Indian capital markets. I think we've been talking about REITs as an investment class for a number of years now, and one is really glad to be here at the finish line with the listing of the first REIT. I think what this product offers investors is a combination of fairly strong annual cash yields plus growth potential. And this is perpetual growth potential that you have because real estate as an asset class is a very, very long-lived asset.
Sure.
So I think for anyone looking to invest, be it an institutional investor or a high net worth / retail investor, this does become one more arsenal to add to your portfolio.
Okay. Raj, hi, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Which are the other companies that are expected to go in for REITs? I mean, DLF has a big exposure in the commercial real estate space. Then you have others like Brookfield, Canada Pension Plan, Qatar Investment Authority that have also invested in commercial real estate. Where do you see the potential come through?
So I don't want to talk about specific names of who's going to list next, but I do think that this is the first of many. I think there have been, so far, from a commercial real estate perspective, you've had a number of institutional investors in the private market coming in and taking stakes. And I think a number of these investors would look to monetize their assets, recycle the capital. And what this will do is it will also act as a vehicle which encourages more development of office space. And so I think for the real estate industry as a whole, it is a very, very positive development.
Okay. Raj, should we expect some more REITs to launch pretty quickly in 2019?
Yeah, I would certainly hope so.
Okay, what, a couple more? How good is the appetite? I mean, it'll depend on that.
Yeah, I think the appetite from an investor perspective is extremely strong. I think you can see that in the case of the Embassy REIT, with the kind of a strategic investor that we've got, the strength of the anchor book, and the kind of demand that we got both from institutional investors and high net worth investors in the main book. So I think all of that has been extremely strong, and the listing has been solid as well. So I think from that perspective, from the investor side, there is a lot of appetite. So I think how many listings can happen in 2019 will probably depend upon where different issuers are in their preparation to get listed.
Sure. By the way, the Maruti stock is surging now. I think it's absence of bad news that is really causing some relief to the stock. It's at the high point of trade after the sales numbers have come in line with street expectations. Raj, what's your view on how the M&A deal pipeline is looking itself? Are things picking up compared to, say, 6 months ago? Has CapEx picked up?
So I think from an M&A pipeline, actually, the last year has been, as you know, an extremely strong year for M&A. And you've seen that across a number of sectors in the e-commerce space, in consumer. For example, we worked with Unilever on the GSK transaction. And obviously, there have been a number of transactions that have taken place in other sectors as well. So I do agree with you. The deal pipeline looks good, and we certainly hope to get some large deals done this year.
IPOs did badly last year. I just have this data list out from Prime database. It's just about 16,200 crores that were raised in FY19 versus 84,000 crores that were raised in the year ago. How is the IPO pipeline looking with this spring in the step in the markets?
Yeah, so I think the fact is that, the IPO market virtually shut down post about August last year. And so obviously the second half of FY19 until March was an extremely weak period for IPOs. I think this listing, we've seen investor appetite come back in. I do think that this probably opens up the window. And we've been seeing, of course, a number of large follow-on transactions and blocks take place over the last few weeks as well. So I do think the markets are back, and it is the right window for more IPOs to get done.
Okay, very quickly, I believe you're out of time. What about the debt capital markets? I mean, the IL&FS issue had an impact, but do you think debt issuances can pick up starting April 1?
Certainly think so. I think global debt markets are as strong as we've kind of ever seen. And so from that perspective, we certainly expect to see more debt issuances as well.
All right. We'll have to leave it at that. Raj Balakrishnan, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Congratulations on this listing. And as you say, one more investment class opens up. But for the moment, investors are very happy with the good old investment class of equities, Sensex and Nifty just surging ahead. Sensex at all-time highs. So let's wind down on Bazaar with the drum rolls yet again. It's a very big morning for equity investors. And coming up on Chartbusters is yet another very big voice. HDFC Chairman Deepak Parekh speaks about the Embassy REIT listing, liquidity, new norms on capping exposure, all those kicking in, and of course his expectation from the Reserve Bank policy. So keep it with CNBC TV18, a lot of big voices coming in.